Hey guys, me again. So, came to kind of summarize up my journey and my finding God. Try and keep it a little short. So, when I made the choice that I made, that I left for 3 days, stayed out in the forests in the area, um, it was because I got to the point where I realized in my life that a lot of things weren't as they seemed, and I had to understand that things needed to change. I was working a 9 to 5, well, not really a 9 to 5 job. I was working like a 5, 6 hour job, 4 days a week. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best, and it was eating away at me. And I was making just enough money to survive. That's it. Not to advance, not to do anything else. Um, I don't drive. I ride the bus. So that made it a little more difficult because it constrained the hours that I was able to work, because for the area, the buses don't run all the time or every day. So I could only work certain shifts. And if I was able to work more often by having a vehicle, that would have been something I could have corrected. Um, so, and I don't say this out of pity. No, this is something to give you an understanding, the underlying situation that was taking place while all of the other things in my story was taking place. And this is a consistent thing that happened throughout my life. Uh, so next, when I made that choice, it also came with the caveat that I'd, of course, not be working. So my job was sacrificed in the process. Don't feel bad about it, because when I made the choice, it was a leap of faith, and there was a faith in God. I knew that at that point, if I didn't give my faith over to Him, that nothing would have changed for me. And it has a lot. Internally, I've gotten more confident. I've been able to experience joy again, dream again, meet with people that I haven't seen in years, reconcile old differences, cut away at my inner circle, the dangers that were lying there with their hidden motives. Learn very, very deep things about myself and truly see what was always holding me back. Like, for instance, doing these videos. Not something I would normally have done. The type of person I used to be. The steps that I've been posting have been the steps I've followed myself, by the way. And have been very freeing, as painful as some of them have been. But freeing, because as long as I had my faith in God the entire time, I was always going to make it through. I never gave up, just like in the stories that I told. Not bragging. This is more inspirational. This is for you guys, so you understand how tough things can get, especially when you're facing yourself and you're put into situations where there's no way out, and faith is all you got. I mean, you can have faith in yourself, but you can only have it to a certain extent. You don't know everything. You don't know everything that's going to happen next. He does. And just because the faith doesn't show in the ways you expect doesn't mean that isn't there. Sometimes just having that indestructible faith is enough. Other times you'll know where the faith will take you, the next step that is asking you to take. It may not always be one that you could really like put together two plus two, because it could equal, 2 plus 2 could equal 5, and 5 could still be the right answer in the case of faith. So can't really explain it. I mean, look at all the miracles that take place around the world. To give faith to him is to basically put your entire life in his hands, both spiritually and physically. Because living by today's standards in the world, with all the illusions, distractions that are meant to take you away from not only him but yourself, brings you to a point where you don't even recognize who you were or who you are. And every time that you find an inch to get out of that ditch, start doubting yourself. Why? Because all those things you've been taught, things you heard, situations you've been through. When you start having faith in yourself, you start having faith in him, you start pulling yourself out, and he starts giving you his hand to help you get out. Inner work does start with you, though. Faith definitely helps, but the inner work does definitely start with you. And that's a choice, a hard choice that obviously I made. And I still have faith. With my current situation, after losing my job, I've been maintaining things so far. And I have faith that he will come through for me, because he has in the past. Just with that, just with the faith. Being able to reconnect with an old friend and reconcile differences, that was unexpected. That was just me having faith. That was strictly just me having faith, following what I thought was his call. But I knew that eventually one day I would have to do that, especially for getting rid of what was in here. And then my brother, reconciling with him, something that I carried deep down that hurt a lot, but just never got around to handling. Losing old friends, or new friends even. Finding out that they were wearing a mask the entire time. That hurt. Not only realizing it, but the fact that they thought that I didn't see, even up till the end. All of that required faith, because the person I was so beaten down, so watered down, that if you saw him versus me today, you would not recognize the two of us at all next to each other. Always dealing with anxiety, avoiding people, avoiding eye contact, apologizing for every sentence said or every instance of expression. Now I feel a lot more confident, straightforward, self-assured. I have my convictions. I have a stable footing. Now I have a platform that I can actually love from and show compassion from. While I do this to make, build a community for like-minded people, or for those who don't have a way or can't find a way. The way that I'm trying to show is not one of conformity. It's one of community. No distractions, no negativity, no ego, no pride. Just each other. A few channels I see online that do that, and they aren't all that big, but they get by. I like watching them too because of how genuine they can be when anything good happens. Anything, even if it didn't involve money. The smile that I get on my face seeing how happy they are just doing what it is that they're doing. And that's what I want for everybody else. You don't have to be on YouTube doing it, but the point is like, you could be doing something that you enjoy, and you could be making a living doing it. Whatever is genuinely you. The world's always going to try and beat you down. Things are always going to seem tough. Things are always going to seem difficult. And you're always going to be asking yourself, if I just put it off a little longer, if I just do this way. I understand that faith in yourself, but how far is that getting you? It sounds a lot like the things I was thinking. Up until I was given the chance to have faith in a higher power. I'm much more better off internally now than I was then. I'm very grateful, regardless of my circumstances. The reason I was ready to give everything up was because I was ready to never come back. Not that I was going to hurt myself or anything, just to leave this life behind. And all I had to do was just have faith. Yeah, in that situation, a very big ask. But look how it turned my life around. I keep talking about how life either teaches you a lesson or you learn it yourself. This was life forcing me to learn that lesson before life really forced me to learn that lesson. While there was a choice in it, yes, life was still kicking me in the butt. And I answered. So, are you going to wait until it gets that critical moment yourself? Or are you going to make the move yourself? Do that inner work. Have faith. Hey, pick up the Bible. Take a look. See what he's got to tell you. Maybe he has a few quotes in there that could help with whatever situation you got going on, or at least motivate you. Just, if you do it, make sure you're dedicated. Step-by-step process. But you got to keep yourself going. None of this was easy for me as I was going through it. But I went through it. I chose to continue going because I knew that there was light on the other side, even if I couldn't see it. There had to be. Because the life that I lived, I could never see that light, and I never felt like there was an end to it, to everything that was going on. There were layers upon layers upon layers of situations taking place all at once. And there was no way out. And then I had the circle I did around me of people and situations. So many different things that were just holding me in place until I chose to break free. Let that be a message to all of you out there. Love you guys.